Namaskar. Welcome to Katha Kahani Kavya. My name is Manisha. Our today's topic is basic Hindu religious ideas. Om. Part 1, Chapter 1, The One Existence. There is one infinite eternal, changeless existence, the All. From that All comes forth, to that All returns. One only, without a second. That includes within itself all that ever has been, is, and can be. As a wave rises in the ocean, a universe rises in the All. As the wave sinks again into the ocean, a universe sinks again into the All. As the ocean is water, and the wave a form or manifestation of the water, so is there one existence, and the universe is a form or manifestation of the existence. All this verily is Brahman. This is the primary truth of religion. Men have given to all many different names. The name in the Sanatana Dharma is Brahman. English-speaking people use the name God, adding to make the meaning clear, God in his own nature. Sometimes the Hindu speaks of all as Nirguna Brahman, the Brahman without attributes, or the unconditioned Brahman. This is to distinguish the unmanifested state of Brahman, the All, from the manifested state in which Brahman is called the Saguna Brahman, the Brahman with attributes, or the conditioned Brahman, the supreme Ishvara with his universe. These are called the two states of Brahman. The subject is very difficult, and it is enough for a boy to understand that the Saguna Brahmana is Brahmana revealed, not a second, but Brahmana shining forth as the One, the great Lord of being, thought, and bliss. He is the self-existent one, the root and cause of all beings. He is also sometimes called Purushottama, the Supreme Spirit, the Self. With himself as Spirit, he reveals the other side of the All, which is named Moola Prakriti, the root of matter. Prakriti, matter, is that which takes form and so can give bodies of all sorts and shapes and kinds. All that we can touch, taste, smell, see, and hear is matter, and a great deal more besides, which our five senses are not yet developed enough to perceive. The solids, liquids, and gases of the chemists are made of matter. All the things round us, stones, trees, animals, men, are made of matter. But the whole of them is not matter, inaudible, invisible, unsmellable, untastable, intangible. The Spirit is in each an ansh, a portion of Ishvara. We call the matter part shariram, body, or a kosha, sheath, or an upadhi, vehicle, that which embodies, clothes, or carries the Spirit. Thus Ishvara in everything, and it is He who gives life to all things. He is Atma, the Self, the Immortal, the inner ruler, dwelling in all objects, and there is nothing that can exist apart from Him. An ansha of Him in a body of matter is called a jiva or jivatma, a separated self. There are some very important differences between spirit and matter as well as The difference is just spoken of, that the senses, when completely developed, can perceive matter while they cannot perceive spirit, and that matter takes form while spirit is formless. It is the spirit that is life and that thinks and feels and observes, that is the I in each of us. And the spirit is one and the same in everybody and in everything. But matter cannot think or feel or observe. It is jad, without consciousness. And it has also the tendency to be constantly dividing itself into many forms and to become many. So that spirit and matter are said to be the opposites one of the other. Spirit is called the knower, the one that knows, while matter is called the object of knowledge, that which is known. Students should try to understand these differences and must never confuse spirit and matter. They are opposites. The first pair of opposites, out of which a universe is built up. Just as spirit has three qualities, Sat, Chit, Anand, being, thought power, and bliss, so has matter three qualities, Tamaha, Rajaha, Sattvam, inertia, mobility, and rhythm. Inertia gives resistance and stability to matter. Mobility keeps matter active, moving about. Rhythm makes the movements regular. You may say a stone does not move of itself, but science tells you that every particle in that stone, particle too small for you to see, is moving rapidly and regularly to and fro, is vibrating, to use the scientific term. The Shakti or the divine power of Ishvara, which makes matter begin to take form, is called Maya and sometimes Devi Prakrti, the divine Prakrti. Sri Krishna speaks of my divine Prakrti as my other Prakrti, the higher, the life element by which the universe is upheld. The student may think of the great pair of opposites, Ishvara and Mula Prakrti, standing as it were face to face, and the divine power of Ishvara shining out on Mula Prakrti and making the qualities called Gunaha act on each other, so that many forms begin to appear. This divine power is Maya, and so Ishvara is called the Lord of Maya. Even young students must try to remember these names and what they mean, for they cannot otherwise understand the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, which every Hindu boy must try to understand. It may be well to say that the word Prakrti is generally used instead of Mula Prakrti, the prefix Mula, root, being usually left out. Yeyam yat pravakshyami 𝐤𝐴𝐻𝐿 anadimat param brahma na sattanna saduchyate. I will declare that which ought to be known, that which being known immortality is enjoyed, the beginningless supreme Brahman, called neither being nor not being. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvato akshi shiro mukham sarvatah shruti malloke sarvamavritya tishtati. Everywhere that has hand and feet, everywhere eyes, heads, and mouths, all hearing, he dwelleth in the world, enveloping all. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam sarvabhrachaiva, nirgunam gunabhoktracha. Shining with all sense faculties, without any sense, unattached, supporting everything, and free from qualities, enjoying qualities. Bahirantascha bhutanam charam charmev cha. Sukshmatvatat vigyeyam durastham chantike chatat. Without and within all beings, immovable and also movable, by a reason of his subtlety, indistinguishable, at hand and far away, is that. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiv cha sthitatam. Bhutabhritra cha tagyeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Not divided amid beings and yet seated distributively. That is to be known as the supporter of beings. He devours and he generates. Jyotishamapi tajyotistamasah paramuchyate. Jnanam gyeyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. That the light of all lights is said to be beyond darkness. Wisdom, the object of wisdom, by wisdom to be reached, seated in the hearts of all. Asitidam tamo bhutam pragyatam lakshanam apratakkaryam vigyeyam prasuptamiv sarvatah. This was in the form of darkness, unknown without marks, or homogeneous, attainable by reasoning, unknowable, wholly, as it were, in sleep. Tatha swayam bhur bhagwan vyakto vyanjayanitam mahabhutadivritto jaha pradurasitamonudah. Then the self-existent, the Lord, unmanifest but making manifest. This, the great elements and the rest, appeared with mighty power, dispeller of darkness. Yo savatindriyagrahya sukshmo avyaktah sanatanah sarvabhutamayo achintayah 𝐸 𝐸𝐵𝐵. He who can be grasped by that which is beyond the senses, subtle, unmanifest, ancient, containing all beings, inconceivable, even he himself shown forth. 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 sarvabhutashaya sthitah 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 madhyam cha bhutanamanta eva cha. I, O 𝐻𝐸𝐻, am the Self, seated in the heart of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, and also the end of all beings. Dvavimau purushau loke kshar shachakshar eva cha kshara sarvani bhutani kotistho akshar uchyate. There are two Purushas in this world, the destructible and the indestructible. The destructible is all beings. The unchanging is called the indestructible. Uttamaha Purushastavanyah Paramatme Tyudahritah Yo Loktraya Mavishya Vibhartavya Ishwarah. The highest Purusha is verily another, declared as the Supreme Self. He who pervading all sustains the three worlds, the indestructible Ishvara. Yasmat ksharammatito ahem ksharadapi chottamaha ato asmi lokevede cha prathita purushottamaha. Since I excel the destructible and am more excellent also than the indestructible, in the world and in the Veda, I am proclaimed Purushottama. Mamaivansho jivaloke jivabhutah sanatanah manah shashtha nindriyani prakrti sthani karshati. A portion of mine own self, transformed in the world of life into an immortal spirit, draweth round itself the senses, of which the mind is the sixth veiled in matter. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtanantam parameshwaram vinashyantsva vinashyantam yah pashyati sa pashyati. Seated equally in all beings, the Supreme Ishvara, unperishing within the perishing, he who does seeth, he seeth. Yada bhut prathag bhavamekastamanu pashyati tat eva cha vistaram brahma sampadhyate tada. When he perceived the diversified existence of beings as rooted in one and spreading forth from it, then he reached Brahman. Yatha prakashiyatyekakritsanam lokmimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha kritsnam prakashiyati bharat. As the one sun illumineth the whole earth, so the Lord of the field illumineth the whole field, O Bharata. Bhumi rapo analo vayu kham mano buddhirev cha 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐿 इतीयं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा अपरियमित स्तवन्याम प्रकृतिम विद्धि मे पराम जीवभूताम महाबाहो ययेदम धार्यते jagat. Earth, water, fire, air, other, mind and reason also, and egoism. These are the eightfold divisions of my Prakriti. This, the inferior, know my other Prakriti, the higher, the life element, O mighty armed, by which the universe is upheld. Sattvam rajastam iti gunaha prakrti sambhavaha nibadhananti mahabaho dehe dehi namvyayam. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These are the gunas born of Prakriti. They bind fast in the body, O great armed one, the indestructible dweller in the body. Om